So as some of you may know, the iOS 18 update that came out, I'm still making videos on it. I'm still not done with iOS 18 at all. The thing with this particular software is that on the iPhone XS in particular, it is kind of a weird type of update. And I don't want to say weird that it's like a bad thing. It's weird almost like in a good way. It's weirding me out how Apple is still supporting these types of older devices, but even on something like the iPhone XS, the fact that they gave this kind of big update on something like the iPhone XS is pretty crazy, because this showcases either one, Apple's going to go through and continue to support the iPhone XS with a lot of features throughout iOS 18, or two, I'm surprised that Apple didn't go through and make those Apple Intelligence features somewhat of like a paid feature set for some of these older iPhone users. When iOS 18 came out, or before it came out, I kind of thought to myself Apple was going to make some sort of subscription plan like Samsung did it with Galaxy AI, that they were going to do that on all their older iPhones. And I thought that would have been it wouldn't have been the best thing ever, but it would have been an interesting thing they could have done. I'm surprised they didn't end up doing that with the iPhone XS. Not saying that, people would be forced to pay for iOS, AI features, but not giving them that option. I thought that's what Apple was going to do when they gave support to the super old iPhones like the iPhone X or XS and XS Max. iOS 17 also was not that bad of an update, so if they stopped it at that particular software update, I wouldn't have been that upset. But the craziest thing is that even on iOS 18 on the iPhone XS, even though it's limited in features, it didn't get all these crazy cool features that the 15 Pro or 14s or 13s or even the 12s got. I still think that for a first beta, although there's lots of issues, it didn't seem like they rushed this thing out. I haven't seen any big detrimental effects on this particular device on my side iPhone XS. I'm not using it on an everyday basis. But I definitely do think Apple did a pretty decent job with this version of software, and especially on something like the iPhone XS as of this point, it is actually a very interesting device nonetheless. And I do think if I'm going to go through and get a device like an iPhone XS, it really isn't that bad of an option when it comes down to just, actually using it as an everyday device. Now keep in mind, it's an older iPhone, it's the oldest iPhone on this version of software, and it's not going to be the best and there's going to be issues and everything. But still at this point, I'm very shocked by how good of a job Apple kind of did with this particular phone. And I think this in and of itself is a very, very crazy thing. I will say though, there's still lots of issues and there's not too many features, that are supported on iOS 18 that are also supported on this thing, like eye tracking and so many features across the board, Apple Intelligence. But I still think for the most part, if you're going to go and buy an iPhone, the iPhone XS on this version of software isn't terrible. And I think it's a weird version of software on this particular on this particular phone, but it's not a bad thing either. This is actually very, very impressive in my personal opinion. So overall, that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.